Hello, everybody who's going to be catching this on the replay. We're going to be talking today about Cancer season 2024. We are within Cancer season already. It, of course, kicked off on the summer solstice. On the 20th and the 21st, we had that powerful new moon in Capricorn, or full moon in Capricorn, which I've been calling a new moon consistently. So a lot of fresh energy coming in. And as I'm talking about this right now, I'm feeling as though the reason that I've been calling it a new moon is because it was happening on the solstice. And so there's all of this beautiful, fresh beginning energy when we are moving through a shift and a change in the seasons. We are hitting that Aries point, that 0 degree point. So it is a birthing point of energy, which is probably why that full moon felt like a new moon. We have another Capricorn full moon happening in Cancer season, and that is going to be occurring on the 21st, so just before we enter Leo season on the 22nd, and that one's going to be at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So we go from a full moon at 1 degrees of Capricorn to a full moon at 29 degrees of Capricorn, really moving powerfully through these energies. 29 degrees of Capricorn, of course, being a hot point in the sky, as Pluto has been sitting there and revolving around there for quite some time. And this year is actually the final time that Pluto will be at that 29 degree of Capricorn point before moving and anchoring fully into Aquarius, no longer retrograding back into Capricorn. So there's going to be some connections with those energies I am feeling as well, as that point within our own charts is really highlighted in all the things that we are meant to conclude and complete with that 29 degree of Capricorn point, especially when it comes to our own empowerment and our own inner authority. Hello, Carl Lewis. Welcome. Hello, Evelyn. I'm getting there. It's been kind of touch and go. It's, one of those things where you start feeling better and then all of a sudden you kind of crash and burn and you're feeling terrible again, and then you kind of start to come out of it. So today I am feeling all right, and I don't have a ton of time. I have about 45 minutes on here with you guys. So we're probably not going to end up pulling any cards today, but we are going to go through all of the significant energies as I'm currently seeing them as we're moving through Cancer season. So we're going to be talking about a lot of astrology as well as the Syrian gateway. It's going to be a good time. Hello, Stanley. Well, we look forward to seeing you, having you catch the replay, Carl, and thank you for coming in and blessing us with a little bit of your energy before you have to go. Hello, Andresia. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful name. I love it. Truth is revealed. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about that not only with the Saturn retrograde that we have during Cancer season, but also the Neptune retrograde that we are going to be having. Both of those planets are going to be going retrograde in this astrological month, I guess you could call it. Yeah, the Schumann's just off the charts all the time. Honestly, I downloaded a Schumann app, but I really don't fully understand how to read it, so it hasn't served me particularly well. But we know when it looks absolutely insane, right? We all remember, when was it that we had that crazy spike in the Schumann resonance, when it had the beautiful sacred geometry patterns and the pattern of the unification of the divine feminine, divine masculine energy. That was really powerful. I can't remember when that happened, but it's going to continue to get crazy. The solar flares, the CMEs, like we said on the Aurora Borealis video, that is going to become more common as we move through these energies, I do believe, because of all the increased solar activity. There's just so much going on as we continue to move through 2024, this literal quantum leap forward through timelines, through realities. I'm here for it. I know you are all here for it. And we're going to talk about some of the energies that we're experiencing. Like I said, during this Cancer season, that are going to be activating different aspects of this ascension process and this journey for us. And also, hello, Monique. I saw your comment and started talking about it. I forgot to say hello to you. Hello, Michael. Hello, Annika. All right, we got a good group on here today. So let's get into this a little bit. So today is the 24th, I believe, just coming out of that powerful full moon that we had, beginning this journey through with sort of our moon energies, through these Capricorn energies and these Capricornian themes. So we're going to be really working through that aspect. There's a lot of energy about us stepping into our authority and taking that authority over our energy, over our lives. And yes, also working with our emotions and working with some energy of mastery over the emotions, as we have a lot of energy. We are in Cancer season. We have a lot of planets in Cancer. There's a lot of focus on that Cancerian aspect. So this is fourth house. This is home. This is family. This is our roots. This is our inner child and sort of the reparenting and reconditioning of the inner child. And the way that we do that with these Cancerian energies is through that loving, through that nurturing aspect. And when we're looking through the Capricorn energies, which are also highlighted here with these 2 full moons in Capricorn, we're looking at that energy of how we bring structure to our inner child, how we bring support. And a lot of times when we think about our inner child, we don't think about structure as being a big thing or a big deal. But think about the energy of somebody who in their childhood has parents who are really absent, who has parents who don't necessarily take that time to try to teach them about the ways of the world, to try to teach them how to be in the world, to give them that structure and create those boundaries that children need when they're still learning and they're still growing. And so we often think about the nurturing aspect, but bringing in that Capricornian energy, that setting boundaries, that helping them to understand those practical nuts and bolts aspects of this reality, that is also a very important aspect of supporting our inner child and supporting our children that, like I said, a lot of times gets overlooked. So we're looking at both aspects of this energy. Remember, Capricorn and Cancer are on an axis. They are opposing energies, but they are 2 sides to the same coin, and they are energies that are equally important. And so it's about nourishing and reparenting our inner child through both the nurturing and the love, that unconditional love, and also through the structures and the boundaries and the ways that we instill this energy of practicality, this Saturnian energy, right? Because if we don't have Saturnian energy in our lives, we're literally just kind of like flapping in the breeze. And there's a lot of things that we're not going to get accomplished. There's a lot of growth that we're not going to be able to do. We're not going to be able to mature. And in this reality, we really need, in any reality, right? Because that's what these incarnations, no matter what planet we're on and whatever we're doing, they're all about our soul's growth, right? So that growth comes through maturity. It comes through deeper levels of understanding. And in this 3-dimensional reality, very much the understanding of the Saturnian principles of time and space and commitment and perseverance and showing up. So working with both of those energies and both of those polarities as we're continuing to move through this month. Oh, Evelyn's birthday is 7/11. Ooh, baby, we got something for you too. So on the 11th, on your birthday, we are going to be having Venus entering the sign of Leo in an opposition to Pluto. So that's going to be a really powerful, intense energy. And that opposition to Pluto, we're going to be feeling for a couple of days there. So that's going to be quite a birthday for you. Venus entering Leo is a really beautiful energy. Venus really likes to be in Leo. She really gets to strut her stuff, so to speak. And so we are more charismatic. We really want to allow ourselves to shine. We want to see other people shine. We want to connect with people. We want to be out and about. So a really beautiful energy there. There is a bit of a stress or a tension with that Pluto energy that we're going to be experiencing. And give me 1 second, you guys. I just need to check something real quick. This is going to go out for a moment, but I'll be back momentarily. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, so we're going to have Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius during the retrograde at this point and will be retrograding back into Capricorn to finish out the year before moving back into Aquarius and really anchoring there. So when we hit 2025, we're going to have that Pluto in Aquarius energy rather. But there is this energy here with this opposition to Pluto. No matter what sign Pluto's in, there is a little bit of tension there. There is a little bit of maybe power dynamics going on. There's an intensity to Venus when she enters Leo with that hard aspect to Pluto. So we're really going to see people being really committed to what it is that matters to them. They're going to be real. We're going to be really intense about our ability to express ourselves, to actualize ourselves. We're going to be pushing up against anything that prevents us from doing that, or that we see as preventing us or getting in the way of what it is that we value, what it is that we want, and how it is that we bring that beauty, that drama, that flair into our lives. So it could be dramatic, but it's going to be, I think, a really beautiful energy as well. Hello, Solomon. So happy to see you. And Plune, happy to see you as well. Amber, pain in the solar plexus area. Is there some connection to the energies? Were we talking, Annika, did you email me about that? I feel as though you did. And you guys, I'm going to have to turn on my AC because it's getting really stuffy in here. Once the energy starts flowing, it like my body temperature goes up, and I'm still running hot and cold right now as I'm moving through the end of this this fun little situation I have going on. So if that's too loud, you guys, let me know, and I'll turn it back off again. But I needed to get a little bit of air flowing in here, so to speak. Let's see. Already resonating with this in your relationship, especially. Yeah, Monique, absolutely. And Venus entering the sign of Leo, there's very much going to be a relational aspect to all of this. That energy, and it's very much, especially when Venus first enters Leo, it's going to be that energy of like, we want relationships that allow us to shine, where we feel like we don't have to dim ourselves down in order to accommodate another person. And that's going to be especially relevant when Venus first enters Leo and has that square to Pluto in Aquarius. All right, let's see. So getting back into order here as far as the aspects and the energies go, we have on the 29th, Saturn going retrograde at 19 degrees of Pisces. And Saturn is going to remain in retrograde until November 15th. And then Saturn will remain in shadow until, what did I say? Was that, I wrote it down somewhere. The 19th of February. All right, so we're going to be feeling the energies of that retrograde. And all of these, and Saturn goes into retrograde. This is a regular part of Saturn's cycle, just like it's a regular part of Neptune's cycle. The outer planets spend about half the year in retrograde. And so when Saturn goes into retrograde, this is a time to revise. This is a time to kind of step back, allow the energies to be more internal, kind of look over where we've been, what we've learned, how we've grown, and then apply more of what we've learned as we move forward again once Saturn hits that direct motion. So we're working with Saturn retrograde in Pisces with these Piscean themes and these Piscean energies. And Saturn's going to remain in Pisces until 2026. So there's going to be some time of working with this in a forward and a retrograde motion, really moving through these energies of Saturn in Pisces. And if you guys haven't checked out the video that I did a video on Saturn in Pisces. I also did a video last year on Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So those are two videos that I would suggest people checking out if you haven't watched them yet. And those are in the astrological alignments playlist, I believe, or major planetary alignments or planetary. It'll be easy to figure out. I'll link them at the end of this live stream later on. But for right now, I'm speaking in English. I'm not sure what the English or Spanish, I'm not sure what that means. I'll link those for you because this is a really powerful energy that we're working through. We're working with this energy of bringing the spiritual into the physical, right? Of blending the spirituality and the practicality, of looking at every single aspect of our lives as a spiritual experience, and understanding that we don't have to separate out those energies. This is about creating more structure when it comes to our spiritual practices. And it's about really taking energetic responsibility in the fact of knowing and understanding I create my reality. My soul created and crafted the lessons that I came here to experience. So I'm going to take ownership of that. And if there's something in my reality that I don't like, I'm going to take ownership of that energy. And I am in the beginning stages of putting together the challenge that I'm going to do with everyone, the Master Your Mindset. It seems like that was got the most votes. I have to actually check back in and make sure that it still did, but it was quite ahead when I listed in the community section. For those of you who don't check there, I put up polls there sometimes and little energy updates about what's going on with me if I'm absent for a little while. So definitely make sure you check out the community tab from time to time. And I have to say that I love the polls that I've been doing to see how it is that I can best serve all of you. The responses that I've been getting have been really in line with what I'm feeling guided to do and the ways that I'm feeling guided to move and to continue to develop my connection and my relationship with all of you in the ways that I serve you. So I love that we're all on the same wavelength with that. And that's going to be really fun. It's going to be a really great thing to be doing with this Saturn retrograde in Pisces, because even though Pisces is a water sign and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, so it has that earthy energy to it, taking responsibility for our energy, a big part of that is mastering our mindset, right? Because it all starts here and it trickles forth from there. Our vibration is greatly determined by the thoughts that we think and the words that we speak, as well as the energies, the emotions that we hold within us. So it's like a deeper understanding of that as we move through Cancer season. We're always working on getting a deeper understanding of our internal nature, our emotional nature, and our conditioned nature. The moon, which rules Cancer and the fourth house, represents our conditioned nature, and it represents the conditioning that we've received in this lifetime. All right, so this would be the ways that we were raised, the values that were instilled upon us, whether we were emotionally supported or whether we were not, whether we were, all of these things, all of these childhood things create the conditioning that creates our basic emotional state and our basic emotional needs, and the way, more importantly, that we seek to have those needs met by the outside world, and how it is that we feel most secure and most safe through having those needs met. Pluto represents our emotional conditioning over lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, but the moon represents the current conditioning in this life. Ernest. I feel like my partner might have something to say about that. But, it's much appreciated. Let's see. The spirits of my soul family. Absolutely. We are so on the same wavelength. It's so beautiful. So, all right, what are we talking about? Saturn retrograde in Pisces. On the day that Saturn goes retrograde, we have a couple other interesting aspects. So Saturn itself is going to be trining Mercury in Cancer, as well as Venus in Cancer, and Pallas in Scorpio. So there's a lot of beautiful supporting energies coming through. I always like to look at the energies that are going on when a planet first begins its retrograde, because I feel like those highlight some of the themes that we may be experiencing as we're moving through the retrograde cycle. So here we have the energy of the mind, but this is more of the intuitive, emotionally influenced mind. With Mercury within the sign of Cancer, this is more of our feminine nature, our feminine energy. Mercury and Cancer, to me, in some ways, can feel kind of Mercury retrograde-ish, Mercury in any water sign, because it's really in the opposite element from where it feels the most comfortable, right? It's in that flowy, intuitive space instead of that logical, that air energy, air and fire. And to some extent, earth, I feel Mercury is more comfortable in than within the water sign. So there's a deeply intuitive, like we said, a deeply sensitive nature. And we're going to be exploring that more with this Saturn retrograde, and how it is that that energy, the emotions and the mind influence our energy and influence the creation of our reality. And Pallas in Scorpio, so Pallas represents Pallas Athena, and this is that beautiful warrior feminine energy. She is a strategist. She is a goddess of the arts. This is a very creative energy. This is an energy that really gets shit done, essentially. And so Pallas in Scorpio is very intense. So there's a beautiful intensity that we're going to be experiencing as well. But it's assisting us, right? It's a trine. So this is a harmonious energy. It's going to be assisting us in going deeper and seeing the way that things come together, the way that things relate to each other. So when we're looking at our lives and the nuts and bolts of our lives, which is what Saturn is about, we're going to be able to notice things that we perhaps hadn't noticed before. And things are going to be brought into our awareness where it is that we need to adjust ourselves in order to accomplish more more of what Saturn in Pisces is asking us to accomplish, which is, like we said, the ownership of our energy, as well as the merging of the spiritual, the idealism into the practical, grounded reality. And this is really helping us to anchor in. Saturn in Pisces, like we've talked about in some of the videos that I mentioned earlier, that I'll link in the description box below, or at the end of this video, however I do it, just look for it, you'll find it. They're in the playlist as well. This energy is really helping us to ground in and integrate the light codes that we're receiving within the body as well, when it is in the sign of Pisces. And there's a lot of power to shift the collective reality. When we have Saturn in Pisces, ooh, that's something new that's coming through that I don't think we talked about in the other videos. But like Saturn is that three-dimensional, that time and space, right? And Pisces is the collective energy. It is the merging into the one. It is the higher spirit. So we can really anchor more of the spiritual awareness, these spiritual principles. Saturn in Pisces is all about spiritual principles and how it is that we enact those in the world. So we get a really powerful opportunity to shift the collective reality into a higher timeline as we're moving through. So this means that until 2026, even though we're talking about 2024 as the year of the massive timeline shift, we're going to really have until 2026 to really be anchoring these energies in as far as Saturn in Pisces goes. And I want to say hello to, I think I saw, is Ty on here? Joni's on here. I saw Joni there. Yo, yeah, I did. You are there, Ty. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cancer energies, they're going to bring up that emotional side. They're going to get us in our feels. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're working with all of that. On the same day that Saturn goes retrograde, the 29th of June, we are also going to have Mercury and Cancer in a sextile to Uranus and Taurus. So this is where we have a lot of beautiful downloads streaming in, where we are being lifted up into that higher mind. And we're really having an opportunity to, I feel, find new solutions and new approaches to things that satisfy us on an emotional nature, as well as in a practical nature. So if we've had areas where our emotions, like we know what needs to be done, we know what needs to happen, but how we feel about something is at odds with like the practical, it's like the practical steps we have to take, we don't feel too good about. Or, you know, that kind of an energy. We're going to find some way to bring that together, find some way to connect and bridge that gap, so to speak, which is really, really beautiful, I think. Hello, Monique. What else do we have here? Oh, yeah, that was it. So that's what we're working with as we begin Saturn retrograde here, excuse me. And on July 2nd, and as we go into these next few aspects, I also want to bring into our awareness the fact that we are experiencing the Syrian gateway. As we move into that first week of July, this is when the sun is coming into proximity to Sirius, the star Sirius, which is also known as our spiritual sun and holds that really, really high vibrational energy. This is why we call it our spiritual sun. And so when our physical sun comes into contact with our spiritual sun, this is a huge burst of energy. This is really, honestly, the beginning of the Lion's Gate portal. And I do believe personally that the star Sirius, because the sky shifts very, very subtly over time, right? So Sirius is currently located at 14 degrees of Cancer. However, it wasn't always that way, and I do believe that Sirius was found within the energy of Leo moving through in the tropical zodiac. I do believe that once upon a time. So because Sirius is very linked into the Lion's Gate energies as it aligns with the Pyramid of Giza, as we have this powerful opening of energy here. So the Syrian gateway really is the beginnings of the Lionsgate portal, like we said. And it's where we have this huge influx of this high vibrational Sirian energy. So we can experience a lot. There's a lot of activations coming through, a lot of openings within us, a lot of openings within our energy bodies, within our subtle bodies. There's a lot of beautiful, loving energy that is just pouring through to assist us as we're moving through these energies. So the pinnacle of that energy happens on the 6th of July, when the sun comes into exact conjunction with the star Sirius. But we feel it all throughout that first week of July, getting more intense as we move into the 6th, and then, sort of tapering off from there. And that is initiating this countdown for the 888 portal. And yes, the 7-7 portal does occur the day after the exact conjunction of the sun and Sirius at 14 degrees of Cancer. So we have that 7-7 energy. And the 7, of course, relating to this is one of the most revered spiritual numbers. It is a number of great organization in the realms of reality, right? In the dimensions. And isn't that interesting when we think about, I guess it wouldn't be yeah, because I think in a traditional week, right, starts with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday being the last day of the week, being the 7th day, being Saturn's day. I do actually believe Saturday is Saturn's day. And so it's interesting that where we're working with all this Saturnian energy right now as well. So it's bringing structure to the cosmos, bringing order to the cosmos, and really bringing in just the activations that we receive. Last year, the 777 portal, it was because we had a 7-year. It was huge. This year, it's going to be very huge as well, of course, leading into that 888 Lionsgate. Oh yeah, the Lionsgate is going to be massive this year. Yeah, and I did one video on the Lionsgate already, talking about the energies of, and what was it? It was something it was connected to the eclipses that were going on. You'll have to look back. That video should be a little ways down if you just scroll through the recent videos, because I did that video a month or two ago. And there is just so many powerful connections already opening up these nexuses of energies for the Lionsgate. There was a lot of preparation with those powerful eclipses that we had regarding the Lionsgate energies. And we are going to, for those of us who are prepared and ready, there is an opportunity to receive a powerful walk-in from an aspect of our higher self as we merge with more of our higher self's energy. So the Sirian Gateway this year, probably preparing us for that, being that final wing of preparation before we move toward the 888. Yeah, exactly. Did AI remove your email? Amber, are you talking about the email list? Did you try to join the email list and you weren't able to do so? Email me, or did you email me personally? But either way, email me personally. My information is in the description box of all the videos. Shoot me an email and let me know what's going on, and we can correct that. Absolutely. All right, so got to look at how we're doing for time here. Whew, you guys, I'll tell you, man. A lot of purging, a lot of clearing when we move through these illnesses here. Oh, you tried to post your email in the chat. Oh, try, were you posting it for somebody here? Try posting it in the comments. It might let you post it in the comments. And if not, post it in the Facebook group. Yeah. All right, so on the 2nd, as we're moving in to these beautiful Sirian energies, we have Neptune going retrograde, which is perfect when we're talking about this higher spiritual energy, right? Neptune is stationing retrograde at 29 degrees of Pisces and will be retrograde until December 7th when it hits 27 degrees of Pisces. And the shadow period for Neptune is going to last until the 29th of March. And then on the 31st, Neptune's going to be entering Aries, and that's going to be a really dynamic energy that is huge because of how long it takes Neptune to move through the zodiac. This is really like the beginning of an age in a sense. So we're going to talk a whole lot about that. We're not going to get too deep into Neptune in Aries right now. But yeah. And also let me know if you guys want me to connect you with each other, shoot me an email and I can connect you with private community and everything, because I really want us to, it should be easy for us to connect with each other. You know what I mean? That's the whole purpose of all of this. But try it in the comments again, and then let me know if you want me to assist with connecting you two. I can do that as well. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Yes, so we're going to get into Neptune and Aries in later videos, but that is a big, empowering energy, very spiritually empowering. And I think a lot of light workers are going to be really stepping into their own, coming into their own as Neptune begins its movement through Aries. But first, we're finishing up Neptune and Pisces here, you guys. And this is powerful energy, 29 degrees, that anaretic degree. So really, with Neptune stationing retrograde at 29 degrees, there is, and I really suck at this where we're looking at, so give me a second here. I believe that would be a sextile to Pluto, right? Because we have Pluto is at 0 or 1 degree of Aquarius as this is occurring, which is an out of sign aspect here. But we have 29 Pisces to 29 Aquarius to 29 Capricorn. Yes, so I do believe that would be a sextile to Pluto there. And it is also making a trine to Mercury in Cancer. And it's happening on the same day that, so Mercury is making a trine to Mercury, shifting from Cancer into Leo, because Mercury will be shifting into Leo on the 2nd. So there's some beautiful energies here. We have that beautiful Leo energy coming in. We have some Plutonic energy really sweetening the pot here in that energizing sextile energy. So there's a lot of energy here that's assisting us in stepping into our power once again. And Mercury, as it enters Leo, will be opposing Pluto in Aquarius. So that Pluto energy really coming through in a couple different ways here to kind of influence this energy and begin this breakdown of whatever it is that needs to be broken down when it comes to these Aquarian energies and the ways that these energies factor into our experience of this Neptunian energy, of this higher spiritual energy. So Neptune, when it goes retrograde, honestly sometimes brings about more clarity, because Neptune in its direct motion brings about an energy of dreaminess, of illusion. You're not really quite sure what's what, because you're looking at the universal truth, right? Which is that there's one ultimate truth, but there's a million other sort of reflections of truth and reflections of reality. So it's that whole Piscean, Neptunian, question of like, what is reality really, right? And there's a lot of, it's a very hazy energy. With Neptune, we're not really meant, Neptune's not about connecting us to this reality. It's about connecting us to what's beyond, right? So when Neptune goes retrograde, there is an opportunity sometimes to see a little bit more clearly. So this is a time where deeper spiritual truths and revelations tend to happen for people. And this is perfect timing of Neptune going retrograde in Pisces, right as we enter this Syrian gateway. So really assisting in bringing that higher energy through, those higher spiritual energies. And we are wrapping up Neptune's journey through its home sign of Pisces. So we're wrapping up a lot of those energies. We're working with energies of powerlessness. We're working with energies of victimization. We're working with energies of disconnection, of apathy. We're working with the energies of escapism. These are all the lower vibratory energies of Pisces that we are working through and moving through. And we are, of course, also working with the collective unconscious. So there's a lot of powerful, possibly collective realizations coming through, a lot of powerful shifts. And this, once again, similar to Saturn in Pisces, is an energy that really allows the individual to help to influence the collective. If we have enough people moving into a higher mind state, so to speak, then there's some really powerful energies here and some really powerful shifts that can be made in the collective energy as a whole. Hello, GE. Yeah. Let's see, Claire Cognizant, but unfortunately you can't get Stanley's email that way. Right? Sometimes our Claire senses, they work when they want to work. You know what I mean? For the things that they want to work for. That's the thing about any of these Claires, right? Is that we can't always control when and where they're going to work. As we move forward, perhaps we will be able to, but at this current time, that's just not how it goes, right? So yeah, this is going to be a powerful Neptune retrograde. I think there's going to be a lot that is revealed, a lot that comes out into the open, and a lot that we understand about our own power, about our own Neptunian energies, the way that these themes play out in our lives, and a lot of energies within our unconscious coming into the forefront here. So this is going to be a powerful area of your chart. And I am going to be telling you guys, we're going to get more deeply into another aspect, that we're going to have a minor grand trine going on between Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus as we move into the end of this year, which is where we have 2 sextiles and a trine going on. And this is going to be, I believe this is also sometimes referred to as a mystic triangle. That's going to be a really, really powerful energy that we're working with. And this is an energy, as these are all outer collective planets, that allows a lot of, once again, powerful shifts within the collective. Do you see? And I just realized I was making an Illuminati symbol there. Do you see, though, how it is that 2024 is the year that we quantum leap through timelines? There are so many different gateways of energy that are contributing to our ability to do this. Yeah. So I think that concludes the energy of Neptune, the Neptune retrograde right now. Just know that we're going to be there. It's the bigger picture, where it is that we've been missing that, where it is that we perhaps need a little bit of a reality check. I feel like that energy between the Saturn retrograde and the Neptune retrograde, both in the sign of Pisces, I feel like that's going to come through for us. And I feel like there is going to be more of an understanding of how it is that we can bring our spiritual ideals into this practical reality, and an understanding of where it is that perhaps we're not living up to our own spiritual ideals. On the 5th, we have the new moon in Cancer. And during this new moon in Cancer, we're going to have Mars and Taurus in a sextile to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So this is going to be a really powerful energy that, once again, we're going to get into more deeply as we move into the new moon in Cancer. But it's really interesting how we had the full moon at 1 degree of Capricorn. Then we have this new moon in Cancer. And then we have another full moon at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So really fully working through these energies within the Cancer Capricorn axis. And if any of you want more information on the axes of the zodiac, email me. I have a class that I taught on this. It's really fascinating seeing the ways that these energies interplay with each other. And so it really is about maturity. It's about growing up. And like we said, the energy of how it is that we reparent ourselves and heal that inner child by providing both nurturing and structure so that we can grow and blossom. So that's going to be a really beautiful, really sweet spot. I'm feeling like very emotional, but a sense of emotional renewal is what I'm feeling as we're talking about these energies right now. Then we have, like we said, for beautiful, I think, was it you, Monique, with the birthday on the 11th of July? We have that Venus entering Leo in that opposition to Pluto. We already talked about that energy quite a bit, but that's going to be a beautiful energy where we really get to strut our stuff, where we are perhaps looking at and understanding, or getting a deeper understanding of what it is that allows us and serves us in this energy of allowing ourselves to shine. I've been doing, it was you, Evelyn. Okay. I've been doing actually quite a bit of research on Venus. I'm gonna be putting together some workshops in the future, working with the energy of Venus, helping us to cultivate that energy. Venus is very, very complex. There's a lot of energy and a lot of nuances to the energy of Venus. She represents what we value. She represents what we find beautiful, what it is that we attract or want to attract, or what we are attracted to in others, because the other is a mirror for the self. So we recognize the beauty in another that also exists in ourselves, and we experience that beauty through the other. We learn so much about ourselves through the things that we find beautiful, through the things that we find to have value. There's a very sensual aspect to Venus as well. There's so many different sides to her energy, and she's such an important aspect of our astrology to understand and to work with, especially for those who have a strong feminine essence within them, but really for each and every single one of us. And so, I'm excited for Venus entering Leo. I'm excited for what this brings in terms of what it is, how we're able to understand more about what it is that makes us feel vital, that makes us feel charismatic, that makes us feel seen, that makes us feel heard, and where it is in our lives that perhaps we're feeling less than seen or heard, and how it is that we can shift that energy. And most importantly, this is about self-love. Leo, another sign that really works with the energy of the inner child, and really with that energy of self-love, because Leo wants to be loved so very, very deeply, even though they may come up sometimes as arrogant, they may come off as a bit headstrong, as a bit self-centered, right? They are ruled by the sun. But at a ground level, Leo is all heart. And so this is an energy of cultivating, and maybe noticing for some people as well, especially with this opposition to Pluto, where is it that perhaps I seek out validation from outside when it's really about finding that validation within myself? Right? And perhaps working through some of those energies as well. All right. Yeah, absolutely, Monique. Absolutely. Thank you for being here with us. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. On the 15th, we have Mars conjunct Uranus in Taurus. This is a big energy. This energy is going to be explosive. This is a date where we could see some very interesting things happening. Whenever our Mars energy is activated, this is, yes, the energy of fight. This is the energy of aggression. This is the masculine energy in more of its primal form or nature here. So this, with Uranus in the mix, things could be very unpredictable. We could be having realizations about ourselves, about what it is that we want, about, once again, what it is that we value, what it is that has meaning to us, and the ways that we go about getting that. And we may discover some new and inventive approaches to situations, new and inventive ways to get what we want. Definitely a big day where we could have changes in finance, where we could have opportunities coming through. Also a day where people may be kind of fired up. So we want to be aware of this. This is also a day where our ideals and what it is that it's like, if we see people not living up to our own ideals, we may have the tendency to kind of like lash out at them or try to push our own viewpoints onto them. So we want to refrain from that. And we want to just be grateful for the gift of contrast, and grateful for the opportunity that we have to live by our own values, even if other people may not be doing the same thing. And also know and understand, once again, going back to that Venus and Leo energy with that opposition to Pluto, it's that energy of seeing where we are in alignment, where our values are in alignment with others, and where it is that they're not. All right. Then on the 20th, we have Mars entering Gemini. So Mars leaving the sign of Taurus with a bang in those final degrees of Taurus here, with that conjunction to Uranus, really getting, I'm feeling Mars receiving some type of download from this. Uranus is the stronger planet when we're looking at the intensity of planets, because Uranus is an outer planet. It moves more slowly. It is a collective planet. It has more pizzazz, so to speak. There's more voltage to Uranus. So Uranus dominates this conversation when we're looking at Uranus and Mars. So Uranus is taking Mars, it's taking that aggression, that forcefulness, and it's tempering that a little bit and saying, okay, but there's a better way to get what you want. I'm glad we decided what we need and what we desire, but let's go after it in a different way. And let's understand where that desire is coming from more deeply. And let's understand the ways that we can go about this process that perhaps we hadn't thought of before, and that will be beneficial to the collective as well as just our own individual self. So it's a really interesting energy. There's some powerful downloads coming through from Mars and ways to utilize that energy, that brute force that sometimes comes with the energy of Mars, ways to work that energy in different, more constructive manners. So I see this overall as a really beautiful connection, but it's bound to be explosive. All right, it's kind of like, I see it almost like a stick of dynamite. All right, so you want to be sure dynamite can be a great tool, right? If you're needing to break something down and you place it in the correct place and you get away from the dynamite as soon as you light that fuse, right? It can also be very destructive when we're not using it with focused intention. And so I think that's a good analogy for the Mars-Uranus conjunction energies. And we're gonna get more deeply into those as we move toward that point as well. So Mars has this powerful connection, receives these downloads, receives this information from Uranus, and then moves into Gemini, which is a sign that is all about information. It's all about knowledge. It's once again all about the mind. So we have Uranus, the higher octave of Mercury, bringing through these downloads, and then this processing that happens as Mars moves into the sign of Gemini and really is then able to be more strategic, to gather more information, and to gather new perspectives and awarenesses, and really social. Mars and Gemini gets what they want in a social manner through interaction, through connection with people, through understanding people, through understanding situations, through having all the information and the knowledge. So Mars and Gemini, I think, is a really beautiful, really fun energy to be moving into. Then we have the full moon on the 21st at 29 degrees of Capricorn, followed by the sun entering Leo and Leo season beginning on the 22nd. And that full moon will, of course, have a video all its own and is going to be incredibly powerful at that anaretic degree of Capricorn that, like we said, has already been powerfully activated by Pluto sitting there. Pluto now, of course, in Aquarius, but will be... Actually, I don't know if Pluto, hold on. Gonna get out the ephemeris here. Because that might have been, Pluto may have left. I feel as though, because Pluto is retrograde. Give me a second here. We're gonna look at Pluto's energy here. Oh, we're in 2004. We gotta flip forward a little bit. All right. So we are in, yeah. Pluto will be moving back. Pluto's currently in retrograde. So Pluto will be retrograding back through the first degrees of Aquarius. Pluto will be hitting 29 degrees of Aquarius again in September, on September 3rd. Stationing direct on the 12th, like we said, at 29 degrees of Capricorn once again. And then moving forward, and when Pluto hits 0 degrees of Aquarius, what is this, the 20th, it looks like, 20th of November, it won't be going back into Capricorn anymore. So Pluto will be hitting that point again, that 29 degree of Capricorn point again, where we are having this full moon in Capricorn. So just a lot of powerful energy going on there in this anaretic degree of Capricorn, where our ambitions, our motivations are really highlighted. authority, systems of authority, and becoming that system of authority over our own lives. So once again, there's this energy with 29 degrees of Capricorn of really looking into who and what we give energy to, and who and what we give authority to. All right. Okay. We got all of that done almost in perfect timing here. Your birthday is November 20th. Woohoo, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. We're going to say a very merry unbirthday to you until we get to that part of the year. And then, of course, we will have your beautiful solar return. And anyone who wants to, I think it would be fun. When we get close to your birthdays, pop them in the comments of one of the videos, and I'll look up what's going on that day, and I'll just I'll write you out a little thing of like what's happening on your birthday. Like what aspects are going on your birthday. I think that'll be kind of fun for people. So feel free to do that, you guys, anyone who has a birthday coming up. And don't do it until around your birthday, because it'll be way too many people all at once if everyone posts it. But when we get close to your birthdays, definitely do that. I think that would be super fun. All right. Let's see. Should we pull one card to close? Interesting. All right. I'm wanting to pull one Tarot of Dreams card. Clear. Let's get one card for the energies of Cancer season. I know it's hard to wrap all that energy up in one card, but Spirit, what card do you want to give us here? Got the Three of Cups. That's a great energy to be coming through. The Palace of Coins on the bottom of the deck. So the Three of Cups, this is connection, this is celebration, this is coming together with people. And Cancer is, of course, like we said, a sign that really does value deep and lasting emotional connection. Cancer is the energy that sometimes wants to hold on to connections as opposed to letting them flow and breathe. So we want to watch out for that. But this is a beautiful time to connect with people, to come together with like-minded individuals. This is oftentimes a card of reconciliation as well. So perhaps friendships being mended, perhaps connections, people coming back into our lives if they are meant to. And just a beautiful, this is the summer solstice, you guys. We're moving into summertime with Cancer. So this is, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. So this is very much about getting out there, being social, connecting, really living our lives. So take that time to be social. Take that time to get out there to connect with people, especially people you maybe haven't seen in a little while. If they've been on your heart and they've been in your mind, give them a call, pick up the phone, get in your car, drive and visit them. Don't allow those connections to fall to the wayside. It's so hard in the world that we live in today. Especially, once you have families, you start having children, you got jobs and careers, and there's so much, it's so hard to make that time to cultivate those friendships and connections. But this is the time to do it. And then what do we have here? The Page of Swords. This is about becoming teachable. This is about learning, being open to new information, to new ways of doing things, being inspired. So I love that energy for us as well. And we had the Knight of Cups under that. And the Moon. So we got that Cancer energy coming through there with the Moon. The Moon represents Pisces, but I honestly feel the Moon card as representing Cancer and Pisces. I feel like the Chariot for Cancer has never really resonated with me, as like it doesn't make sense with the energy of the Chariot, why it would represent Cancer energy. I don't know if anybody else who reads tarot and stuff like feels that way, but it doesn't. I mean, the Moon rules Cancer. Why would the Moon not be the Cancer card? But then I was trying to think, all right, so what would Pisces be? Pisces is really the Moon too, you know what I mean? So I attribute the Moon to both of those signs, Pisces energy and Cancer energy there. Clear. And we got a whole lot of both going on. We also had the Devil under that. So that's a final reminder before I go here, for us to make sure that we don't get caught up in those escapist tendencies, that we don't disconnect from reality. We want to stay connected, and we want to, this is a time for really noticing what it is, where it is that we've been holding ourselves in bondage, and really releasing ourselves from that in a really powerful, releasing ourselves emotionally especially emotionally with all of this Cancer energy and all this Pisces energy going on, energetically and emotionally. What has been holding you hostage, and are you ready to let that go? Are you ready to cut those ties that bind? All right, clear. Yes, absolutely, people. Go ahead, feel free to bug me. It is no bother. I love you all so much. You are all so amazing. Thank you for joining me. Clear. We'll touch base again real soon. Bye, everyone.